Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And I know today's not a fun day with the red that we see, but hey, listen, this is totally normal. With the double-digit green days that we had for a few days in a row, this is to be expected, and it's totally normal. It's healthy. I am not worried at all. We always take 5 steps forward and 3 back as we climb up in price. So we are just in that roller coaster movement, which is, gosh, a whole lot better than flatlining and moving sideways, I tell you. So I am not worried at all. So you should not be worried either. Okay, I have some interesting stories. If you are a holder of XLM or interested in the Stellar Network, I have some documentation that has surfaced that I think it is very important to look at, along with an update from Bob Way about 3 hours ago. He is, of course, the former Ripple employee who is going to volunteer his time and really bring everyone up to speed on educating us on the XRP ledger, what it is capable of doing, and what it can be used to do even in the future. So first, let's go to this story here. This is SBI Holdings when they made an investment in a company called BCause back in October 2017. So this company secured $1.2 million in seed capital, along with that $5 million Series A investment by SBI. And SBI, with the investment, took a 40% share or stake in the company. Well, they were probably, according to what they claim, they were the largest mining facility in North America. They had that facility down in Virginia. And they also had plans to start spot trading this month and also venture into the commodities exchange and clearinghouse. They were going to create what they said was a full stack or a one-stop shop. And it was very, very exciting, I think. So they have run into a little bit of trouble. I will put a link, though, down in the description to this particular YouTuber who actually went to the mining facility, and it was when they had their 15,000 rigs humming along. The noise, the roar is unbelievable. According to the video, he talks about some of the neighbors were not happy at all because the amount of noise is really, really surprising. So this is unfortunately a story about bankruptcy. Now, it's not a total bankruptcy, but it is a Chapter 11. And Chapter 11, of course, allows you to restructure should that petition be granted by the courts. So on April 11th, they actually did file that Chapter 11, and by the 16th, it was being covered on a lot of the evening news in Virginia because this company was very important to the area. It provided a lot of jobs. But there is a company called Wesco Distribution, and we learn about the details in a letter to the BCause members that was written on the 17th of April. This equipment supplier filed a garnishment order against BCause, and it froze their bank account. So obviously they weren't getting paid, and with a frozen account, they even were falling even more behind on the other people that they owe. The power company threatened to cut off their electricity, and that this is why they decided to file that Chapter 11 so that they would have a chance to reorganize and come out healthier than ever. They have, according to this letter, plans to still launch their spot trading, and that would be executed while the mining facility would continue to operate. And so the news has been pretty full. This is from the 21st of April, and there's just a plethora of articles out there about the mining company filing bankruptcy and revealing some interesting debtors. Yeah, so there are some real interesting people who are owed money. The council of BCause is in Chicago, and yes, they are definitely restructuring through the court process, they confirm, and they have 27 full-time employees still, and 4 part-timers. Now, the 50 creditors that are on the list of being owed money, like I said, some are secured and some are unsecured. The unsecured ones, well, there's like 470,000 owed to the Chicago law firm, and then Dominion Energy is owed 1.4 million. But the most interesting unsecured creditor is the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. They owe them $700,000. Now, I cannot figure that one out. I just can't figure that one out. If anybody can shed some light on that, I would love to know what you think. So the Honorable Judge Janet S. Bear, we can see here in, well, this is actually another bit of information that talks in detail from their actual counsel. But here we have the bankruptcy court docket, and you can see that on the 21st of this month, all the objections are to be received, and there's going to be a hearing status on May 23rd in Chicago, and then I think there is another court date set for the 5th of June 2019. Well, if I was SBI, you might think this is a real opportunity. I mean, what better way than for them to restructure, reorganize, get rid of some of that debt, come in with another round of funding, and take control. So I am so interested to see how Mr. Gitao handles this particular situation. And I found an article that said that the cryptocurrency startup BCause is to launch their spot market trading on the 23rd, which is basically today in the US, but I can't find any confirmation of that. So again, if you have any info, I'm quite curious. Go ahead and send it in the comments. All right, Stellar. Well, this is by 3 Korean students out of the KIST, that's the Korean Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. They're a national research university. They have like 10,000 students who go with a faculty of about 1,140. And they operate on nearly $1 billion in research contracts. And their partners have other universities around the world, like Carnegie Mellon and Georgia Tech, and there's 2 technical universities in Germany. They are the 6th most innovative university in the world, according to Reuters. Academically, they rank 46 in the world. That's very, very high. Number 1 in Korea, number 7 in Asia. So they did an interesting study. They started it in January 2019. They actually have an update on this as recent as May 15th. And I think you'll want to take a look because it looks like there is some vulnerability and some cascading failures. So I will put the link to this in the description below. It's not too difficult to read what's going on. And the wonderful thing is there has been a response from Stellar. So we see here from the head or chief scientist of Stellar, this is from David Mazieres, he does address the points that these university students have found. And he admits that there are some weak spots in the Stellar ecosystem and that the downtime on the network does happen. And some failures have caused even widespread outages. So you can read for yourself, but I think anytime you are getting behind technology, and also if you're interested in comparing how it is standing up against the XRP ledger, I do believe this documentation is going to be important for you. And here is the update from Bob, and he is in Baton Rouge, I believe, in this picture. You can see him back here. So what he has told everybody, and I kind of suspected this is why we hadn't heard from him lately, he is fighting his prostate cancer, and he has also received some radiation treatment and went for some scans and then was waiting for the results. He went down to Baton Rouge and he hooked up with some awesome XRP community members. But the wonderful thing is all the scans came back clean. So we want to wish him the best. I'm sure he's going to get back on track soon. And I look forward to learning more from him. So I think sending him your best wishes would be really a nice thing to do. And then the fun thing I wanted to end with is Ayden Trading. He is providing a plush doll of Bearableguy 123. I couldn't resist. I bought one yesterday, and I just think it's the cutest thing I've seen. And if you do buy one, it's going to help fund his college tuition. So I am, of course, I think I've not ever covered any Bearableguy 123 stories here, but I'm always watching them and listening, and I enjoy it. And I thought, what a cute bear he is. So if you are wanting to help Ayden out and also enjoy the Bearableguy 123 stories, maybe you'll have to get one of these plush dolls as well. Okay, we're jumping into the fluff. So in Japan, we have a lot of characters. Probably the most popular is Pikachu, and I think maybe the most widely recognized out there in the world. But also there's Domokun. Domokun is the mascot for the NHK television station here in Japan. He is kind of funny. All he says is domo domo, which means thank you, thank you. But he is really well loved by children. And even some characters that look like this is from Hokkaido. It's crazy, right? Look at this bear with a melon head. I think it's one of my favorites. There are thousands of characters in Japan, but I want to show you the one character that has reached #1, and that is Kumamon. Kumamon is from Kumamoto, and in 2010, he was created to celebrate the opening of a new bullet train route, and he became very popular very quickly, reaching that #1 position. And among those thousands of characters in Japan, he is the money maker. I'll tell you, 1.2 billion was made in just 2 years to provide economic relief to the area after they had a big earthquake, and also to promote tourism. But he continues to rake in billions and billions of dollars. And the reason why he has a very unique marketing strategy. That marketing strategy is he is free to use. You don't pay any licensing fee. So if you want to put him on clothes, and he appears on trains, he appears on stationary items, he appears everywhere. And should you want to use him as a character on your product, you're free to use him. So I think with that 6.2 earthquake that occurred in 2016, people were making a lot of merchandise and then donating a percentage to the Kumamoto Relief Fund. That was a really good use of the character. And you can see here, this is even where you'll find that some of his likeness is promoting watermelons. I mean, you see him on everything. And the one great thing is that the law here in Japan was that he had a free use for domestic use, but there were some restrictions on using him internationally, but that has changed. He is now available to use anywhere in the world. So they actually changed the law so that you can use Kumamon for anything you would like to use him for. All right, everybody. You can also go to the Kumamon TV channel on YouTube. And the great thing, I didn't know this, he travels around the world and he does lots of fun things. And in doing that, they also translate into English. So you can enjoy a little bit of Japanese culture through his TV channel. All right, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.